Welcome back to Vuln Vibes. Today, we're diving straight into something pretty critical, a newly discovered vulnerability in Langflow.
That's right. We're focused on CVE 2025-3248. And for our audience, you know Langflow, that Python tool for building AI agents, visually.
The popular one.
Yeah, exactly. And this isn't minor. We're talking about unauthenticated remote code execution, potentially leading to full server compromise.
Okay, let's unpack that. Langflow, over 50,000 stars on GitHub, support from big names like DataStax, IBM, so a lot of people are potentially affected.
A significant number, yes. The security posture here is a major concern.
So what's the core issue with CVE 2025-3248? Where's the breakdown?
It really goes down to one API endpoint,
Yeah.
a P1 validate code.
Validate code. That sounds like something internal, maybe for developers.
It is. Authenticated users do need to execute Python code sometimes within Langflow. That part's legitimate.
Not bad.
But this specific endpoint, it completely forgets to check who is making the request. No authentication needed.
So anyone from the outside internet can just hit that endpoint.
Precisely. They can send Python code directly to it, and the server, well, it just runs it.
Right. Unauthenticated RCE, that's the nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
How are attackers actually making this happen? Is it complex?
Surprisingly, no.
Yeah.
It's quite straightforward. An attacker can craft some malicious Python code, maybe a reverse shell, for instance,
Okay.
and they can embed this code maybe inside a Python decorator, or even sneak it into a function's default argument value.
Clever. So it looks like valid code structure, but has a malicious payload tucked inside.
Exactly. And because that validate code endpoint isn't checking credentials, it executes whatever it receives. It's like leaving the front door wide open with the lights on.
And if an attacker gets that code executed, what's the damage?
Full server compromise. Period. Once they have code execution, they effectively own that Langflow server.
Which means?
Well, data breaches, obviously. Stealing sensitive information processed by the AI workflows. System disruption. Using the server as a launch pad for other attacks. You name it.
Yikes. Okay, this is definitely high priority. Who found this? We should give credit where it's due.
Absolutely. This was discovered and reported by Naveen Sunkavally at Horizon3.ai.
Horizon 3, right. They do good work.
They do. And they didn't just find it, they also released a nuclei template to help security teams check for this vulnerability.
Oh, that's useful. How does that template work?
It's pretty simple. It basically tries to use the vulnerability to read the contents of the etc. password file. A quick check for exposure.
A classic proof of concept. So how widespread is this? Are we talking a few edge cases or?
No, not at all. When Horizon 3 did their analysis using Senses, get this, they found over 500 publicly accessible Langflow instances vulnerable.
Over 500, just out there on the internet.
Exposed and vulnerable at the time of discovery, that scale really amplifies the urgency here.
No kidding. Okay, critical question then. What's the fix? Is there a patch?
Yes. Thankfully, the Langflow team addressed this in version 1.3.0.
1.3.0.
So the immediate recommendation, the absolute priority, is upgrade. Upgrade to 1.3.0. Now,
And if for some reason someone absolutely can't upgrade immediately, bureaucracy, change freezes, you know how it is.
yeah, the less ideal fallback is strict network controls. Firewall rules, access restrictions basically, lock down network access to the Langflow instance so that a P1 validate code endpoint isn't reachable from the untrusted internet. But patching is really the proper fix.
Right. Patch first, if possible. This whole situation, it really drives home the importance of secure coding, especially with tools that execute code dynamically.
It really does. Having unauthenticated access to something as powerful as Python's exec function,
Yeah.
a popular tool, it's a stark reminder.
You think about the ease of exploitation here, plus the total server takeover potential.
Makes it a critical vulnerability, no question. And with detection tools now public, the window for attackers is wide open. Speed is essential for defenders.
Definitely. And that figure over 500 exposed instances makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are we potentially overlooking similar risks in other AI workflow or development tools that get exposed, maybe unintentionally?
That's the broader question, isn't it? It suggests a possible blind spot. What other tools, perhaps considered internal or dev-only, might actually be accessible and harbor critical flaws? Something for everyone listening to think about in their own environments.
A very important takeaway. Always reassess what's actually exposed versus what you think is exposed. Great point to end on.